Welcome to White Regis TV Film Review and Preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, Michael arrived in cinemas. The film is a biopic covering the life of Michael Jackson, from his involvement in the Jackson 5 to his early solo career, into about the mid-80s until about the Pepsi adverts, hoo-ha. If you know your pop music history or whatnot. In the film, Michael Jackson is portrayed as an adult by his real-life nephew, Jafar Jackson. The film also stars Coleman Domingo, Nia Long, Laura Harrier, and Miles Teller. And the film has been swamped with controversy. So Jackson has received quite good praise for his performance, but there's a lot of criticism around the film because a lot of critics feel that it sanitizes the storytelling. It doesn't cover the child sexual abuse allegations against Jackson, and in fact a lot of the there's been a lot of story behind the film over how they could do a sequel on that stuff, but as when it came to this film, they had to cut out a lot of the stuff just covering the allegations because due to legal problems with one of the alleged victims saying that their story couldn't be portrayed in any way on film. And the film as such, and part of the negative reviews from critics have been that this feels more like a glorified, sanitized greatest hits album more than offering any actual insights into Jackson, especially considering if people know what came after what's portrayed in the film. So yeah, Michael is in cinemas now. This weekend, Apex streams on Netflix. The film is a survival action thriller and stars Charlize Theron, Taron Egerton, and Eric Bana. The film revolves around Theron's rock climber character getting hunted through the wilderness by Egerton's character. I think reviews have only started trickling out for it. This is Friday. I'm recording Friday morning, so reviews have only started trickling out now as it'll be released as it's coming out on Netflix because it won't have been press screened. But I think I saw a couple of reviews that talked about it's just pretty much nuts and bolts Netflix thriller. Nothing that's gonna set the critics on fire. But one of those movies that probably audiences will like. Apex is streaming now on Netflix. Releasing in the UK, I think this weekend. I probably should have double checked, but yeah. But from the information I saw, it was this weekend. Releasing in UK in cinemas this weekend is Exit 8, a critically acclaimed Japanese psychological horror film based on a video game. The film stars Kazunari Ninomiya as a man who gets trapped in an endlessly looping, sterile subway corridor. Also, I know the film has received some critical acclaim, quite a lot of critical praise for its directing and tone. I know there's been, Japanese horror is sort of definitely one of the genres that critics take seriously, because Ringu from '98, that was quite well received, I believe. So Exit 8 is in UK cinemas now. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will be talking about The Devil Wears Prada 2. See you next time.